What are some unspoken rules that you automatically follow when staying in a hotel? Be quiet in the hallways. Assume everything has jizz on it. Peel the sheets back and check for evidence of bed bugs. The floor is lava, not to be touched with bare feet. What was your "what the F did I just get myself into" moment? Every time I start a new workplace I always ask myself this. I feel like I spawn in random places. Right before having the first kid, like 2 hours before it happened. Copy and paste 2000 data fields daily. Be sure to tie it to your user account so you leaving causes all the nicely automated reports to go away. This is malicious anti-compliance. But still satisfying. You want all the shirts stacked on the edge of the table. Sure thing, boss. While I agree with your malicious compliance, the thought that any employee, even a manager, has to pay for the damages is wild to me. Sure, the manager messed up, but the business taking the damages out of the manager's pay is illegal in a lot of places, and even when not illegal, is not cool. Everybody makes mistakes, the company needs to budget for those kinds of losses, not pull it out of someone's paycheck. Till that in 1540, King Henry VIII entered into an arranged marriage with his fourth wife, Anne of Clovis. Dissatisfied with her appearance, he never consummated the marriage, leading to its annulment. The architect of the union, Thomas Cromwell, fell from favor and was executed in 1541. At least King Henry was kind to her after, he put her up in a house and let her still hang around his court. He spoke of her as a dear sister. Additionally, King Henry VIII lived with a raging infection in his leg from a jesting wound for more than a decade before it killed him. Several times in those years, the wound closed up externally but continued infected internally, leaving him almost comatose as his body fought off the infection. He must have had a remarkable constitution not to fall to sepsis long before. What's one basic hygiene that you see people overlooking the most? How to floss properly and effectively. Have to go in deep and around the tooth. Clean your belly button. When you go to bathroom, you need to wash your hands, thoroughly, with soap and scrub them together, not just hold them motionless under the water for a few seconds. Wash your ass Sirac. It doesn't affect me on a daily basis if someone doesn't do this, but I know you're a filthy fucking animal when you tell me you don't. You can't use that phone. Tasty, with a side of sarcasm. Honestly, that teacher had his priorities straight. I love the part where the governor realized he couldn't make an outside call. It's like, dude, this isn't your campaign headquarters, it's a classroom. It's refreshing to see someone who doesn't bend over just because some suit walks in. Though, I gotta say, this kind of drama shows how out of touch politicians can be. Maybe treat teachers and their spaces with a bit more respect next time, right? LPT, treadmill workout. Easiest way to get your heart rate up, efficient way to burn calories, and once you get used to it, you don't feel achy and sore the next day. Elite fat burning way to exercise. The treadmills at my gym have a rolling hill setting, and it's about the length of a Doctor Who episode, so I'm not bored physically or mentally. It's the most consistent I've been in my adult life. I listen to free audiobooks from the library. LPT, if you want people to listen to you more, pause for 2 seconds before responding in conversations. That's assuming you're talking with someone who will allow 2 seconds of silence before they fill the space. This sounds like an effective way to get interrupted a lot. What is something a lot of people refuse to do even though it's easy? Break down their boxes. My apartment's recycling bins get super full fast because no one breaks down their boxes. Return their damn cart. Washing their hands after they pee. Clean their dog shit up on walking trails and putting it in the bin. So many bags of dog shit in bushes and hanging in trees in my local nature reserves. Someone is even making a collection of about 10 bags so far. If I ever see someone throw a bag of dog shit on my walks, I'm going to retrieve it and throw it at them. Disgusting people. LPT, negotiations. Whoever talks first loses. GIF. What's a privilege people don't realize they have? Running water from a tap that you can turn on and off. Some even have clean filtered water, others need to boil it. Living without a chronic illness. It's easy to forget that you feel good every day, but many people do not. Hot shower every time they want. What have been the most blatant instances of writers and creators letting their fetishes bleed into their work? Going with something different here, Vince McMahon was the head of creative for WWE Wrestling for decades, and, at certain times, he wrote himself into the show as a boss who made his female employees do things like strip for him to keep their jobs, get on all fours and bark like a dog, and kiss his bare ass cheeks. Now, he's got major allegations against him from an ex-employee that make it seem like the real Vince McMahon is even more depraved if anything. Wasn't the creator of Wonder Woman into bondage with his 2 lovers or something? She has her golden lasso to tie up foes, and in her earlier appearances her weakness was that she'd lose her powers if a man bound her hands. I vote for it being when Tarantino wrote a scene where Salma Hayek pours a drink down her leg and a guy drinks it as it runs off her toes, and then cast himself as that guy. Like, the scene even being included is already creator's fetish bleeding into the work, never mind him putting himself as the guy doing the fetish thing in the scene. Outlander aka Diana Gabaldon's rape fetish. Terry Goodkind and the Sword of Truth series. The guy clearly had a thing for collaring and dominant women, it came up on multiple occasions. I think our country is done. Yep, also the countries that rise up as fast as USA did, I mean it's only existed for about 200 years, usually crumble down just as fast. Country that spends 10 to 30% of its budget on military and only 5% on education can't really hope for prosperity in the long run. You're not crazy. What we are all witnessing is extreme, and everyone in the media is trying to normalize this. This is not normal. You are not an alarmist. You are seeing what you are seeing. All of us outside America can see it because the rest of the world has experienced it at some point. Look, your country isn't done, but the American empire is collapsing. That's what's happening. There are lots of other problems, too, don't get me wrong, but that's the overarching thing. The US isn't the big guy anymore and is going the way of a dying empire. The question is, will the US throw its weight around in its death throes like Russia, or will the US try to find a new place and purpose in the world like England has had to? Like and subscribe.